Hey guys, how's it going? My name is always and welcome back to Project Ozone 2. In the last episode, we were working on a couple of different things. We were working on a system to get palladium crystals, and then also working on getting all of the advanced circuits, plus all of the wafers automated, and went pretty well. But before we get started with today's episode, I just want to take a second and apologize for the lack of videos here the last basically week. I've been sick, sorry. I haven't been feeling all that well, so I haven't felt like recording. I've been sleeping a lot, but I'm starting to feel better, so you might still be able to hear a little bit of like scratchiness in my voice. Hopefully not, and hopefully I don't cough too much. But yeah, so I'm feeling a little bit better, so I figured let's get back into recording and all that fun stuff. So yeah, that's where it's been. That's where I've been for the last week. Just so you guys know. Anyways, between episodes, I was working on some automation stuff. So we have the crystallized redstone, and if we can get through all these lasers, a bunch of diamond chipsets, and all the chipsets are automatable now. Went through and got a bunch more stuff. So we have the weatherproof stuff. So the draconium infused obsidian, weatherproof glass, and blocks. The thorium rods and uranium rods are all automatable for the most part. Some of this stuff requires things that are EMCable, so we'll kind of make it as we can. But today we're going to work on a couple of different things. One of the first things we need to work on, though, is this, not the turret base. The turret base, I just didn't feel like getting this thing. Most of this is EMCable. But the sensor is not until you get to tier 1. And I really didn't... Oh, then enriched iron is not... Ugh. That's annoying. But we can get that stuff. And I can probably automate enriched iron. Might be something I do. So yeah, there's a lot of things to kind of work on, and definitely need to improve upon some stuff. So one big thing is we have our system down here that is our glowing magnalloy, and that stuff takes forever to make. So like at some point I might want to make a army of these to get those, because we need them for the draconic cores, and we're gonna need a lot of draconic cores, and that's some of the stuff that I've been kind of debating with myself on what I want to do with it and how I want to approach the situation. Just trying to get enough materials. We have access to a lot of this materials. It's just a matter of getting the things that can't be MC'd, getting them automated enough so that we can get them relatively quickly. So the draconic cores are one of those big things that it just takes forever. We have 9 chaotic cores, but each one of these casting requires what, 2, 4, 6, 7 of them? That's not too bad, but then it requires, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more, so it requires 15 each. That is a lot. So what do we have in here? Anything? The sword, and then that. And if we can make 6, then we can do some really cool things. We can probably go into another dimension and just get a system set up so that we can get a ton of stuff. But we'll see. Anyways, first thing I think I want to try to do... where do I want to start? Let's start with the other thing that we're missing in here, which is the wireless connector. Now that's something that we can almost make. If we look at this, I've set up automation for... Whoops, clicked the wrong thing. I've set up automation for everything except for the wireless charger, because we can't. It requires some other stuff. So let's get the wireless charger. Let's get like a stack of those, and then we can automate everything else. So the wireless charger, and then I can always make more of these. We're going to need ender resonators, octacapacitors. Those two things are pretty easy. Ender resonators. Alright, so we're going to have to... Whoops. I've been misclicking so much here lately. Octacapacitors. Let's go ahead and get that. As you can see, I upgraded the lasers, and it's ugly. I might move it at some point, but it works, so I don't really care. So we're going to need a stack of those. Let's get a couple stacks, and then we'll put everything else away. We're going to need electrical steel times 4 stacks. Let's put that there because we're going to use that for something else later. And then we're going to need some wireless modems, which I know I don't have any. Wireless modems, those are PneumaticCraft things, but they're EMCable, so I don't care. We'll get a few stacks of those. And we're going to need 2 for this, so we'll get a handful of stacks. And then the last thing we're going to need is booster cards. Wireless boosters, which that is something we can teach the system how to make if we have ender pearl dust. And the question is, can we get ender pearl dust? Nope. We need to sag mill it or something like that. So I don't even have a sag mill set up, do I? No, I do. Okay. So we can get that pretty easily with an ender pearl. I just want to make sure that that doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't. Alright, so let's make a crafting recipe. And let's make sure that this gets done. So we will put that in the sag mill. And then we should be able to teach the system how to make wireless boosters. And that is just a normal recipe. And then we can get a stack of those. I almost always make 100 though, just because it's easier. So we'll get this, once we get the stack, we will get this processing to make the wireless chargers, which will allow us to make the wireless connector, I believe. Yeah, that is what it's called. Alright, so I'm also making a ton of Magnaloy because we need it. And do we have any other chipsets that are done? No. So I will continuously work on getting the chipsets to have 100 of each of them. And then we can take a stack of each into our little system. Alright, there we go. Alright, so let's get this making made, whatever. So this goes in the middle, it goes there. Those two go there, and then these guys in the corners, and that will process. So while we're waiting on that, let's head to the last millennium and do something that I've been kind of hesitant about, and for a good reason. By the way, I processed these guys for a while. I went through all of the essence that I had, so it's going to be a while before we can get any more of those, unless I go back to the dimension that I set up that has a ton of essence. So we are going to need a filter for one. So let's get into this. We're going to have this, we need to have this extract on a color we do not have, but I set it all up to purple just because it was distinct enough that I could see. So let's go extract white, always active. We'll put in a blacklist that will include the infinity stars, and hopefully this can be somewhat intelligent. So this is the concern. If we put this to be an insert on white, this is going to start getting things. And what I'm worried about is, what is it actually going to get? So we can do something like this. We can put, like, you know, stone everywhere so it doesn't fill up with everything else. We will have to see kind of what we want. But some of the stuff I'm gonna kind of arrange it, and it's gonna be pretty slow. I can make it faster, but the concern is what happens if there is Okay, so we're going to turn that off for a second. Easiest way is probably going to be just to break that. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in at least one of everything. I'll put in some speed upgrades, and then I will block everything off, because I don't want anything like overfilling, and we'll have the extra electrotine in there. I might try to get rid of those. We'll see. But you can kind of see where, like, so Lumium is there, that's fine. Invar doesn't go there. I'll have to kind of sort this, and I don't want, like, we have extra. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. So it's going to put in extra. So what we'll have to do is fill it with junk blocks that won't get used, and then hope that it will never use all of them. Otherwise, we have to come up with a different system, and there's not any other filters, as far as I'm aware, that we can use. Chargeable item filters, no. So what I would ideally want is, in later versions of Ender.io, there is a better filter, which would be really nice to have, but the advanced filters will not do what I want them to. So basically what we want to do ideally is have it so there's exactly one stack of everything. And later versions of Ender.io has they are called the counting filters, are super useful for that. So that's something that I'll have to keep in mind. Is this done? No. Yes. Wow. That was convenient. So we will teach the wireless connector. And because a lot of those things have to be crafted, no EMC, we will go ahead and tell it to make 64 of those. And it's missing sand and glass cable. I will admit the sand is a little bit surprising, but not really. We've never really had much sand. Can we make compressed sand? We definitely can. And we'll get a stack of that. Or two. Doesn't matter. Make double compressed. Can we make higher tiers than that? Can we make triple compressed? No. Double compressed is the best we got. So what we can do is just get a handful of stacks of those, and then teach it that double compressed makes compressed, and compressed makes sand. And that should give us plenty of sand for the foreseeable future. As for the cables, I would just EMC those because it's easier. Let's get this. Cool. So now we should be able to make the wireless connector 64. And that'll get started. Alright, so I will tell you guys what. I'm going to figure out some stuff to do for the Eternal Singularities. And I'll come back once I have something in place. One of the big things, like I said, I want to see is what happens if... does it take out the last stack? That's the big question. If it does, then I'll have to figure out something to do. I might go look and see what other people have done to deal with that. But I'm going to figure out some sort of system to automate this guy the best we can. So I will be back once I've done that. Alright, so I think I have the solution, and yeah, it definitely made a mess. We have a bunch of singularities in our inventory because I took everything out. And let's take a look at how things are crafting. Not that. Still making diamond chipsets. Yeah, those will take a while just because they need a lot of power, and eventually that'll just get done. A lot of stuff is going to happen off camera, and by the way, I still haven't fixed that. I will get to that soon. We're going to take a look at this episode at all the things we still need to do automation-wise, and then kind of go from there. I have some ideas of things we can do as well for a couple of the automations. We'll see. But anyways, let's head... Well, we're not going to head into the last millennium quite yet. So in order to get a single stack of everything, I forgot about extra utilities, rationing pipes. We're going to make some rationing pipes, and that is all we really need to do. Strangely enough, we don't have any glass, so let's get just a little bit of that. We only need one rationing pipe. We're going to need some other stuff. We're going to get some normal pipes. And then we're going to get some speed upgrades. Let's get like 4 stacks of those, sure. And then a stack of stack upgrades. And that should be fine. We'll see how everything handles, but, oh, and we're going to need one other thing. I forgot. I almost forgot. We do want a filter. We do not want the infinity stars, because that would be bad. So we're going to want a filter, which are really easy to make, so we're just going to make one. Alright, so let's head back to the last millennium. And this is going to look somewhat ugly, but it's just going to have to. Otherwise, we'd have to bring the pipe up behind the back and then do weird stuff. But what we're going to do is we're going to grab a single infinity star. I'm going to also grab, just put you. We're going to filter this. And we need this inverted, don't we? Right click. And I believe it's craft with a redstone torch to change behavior. Yeah, so we want blacklist, not whitelist. So we're going to need a redstone torch. Just put all this stuff in here for right now. So let's get that. We need inverted. I do not want infinity stars, so that's all we need. Redstone torch. And there we go, inverted. So now we can have basically not infinity stars, and that should work. If we hook this up, that's exactly what it should do. It should be everything but infinity stars. So we're gonna put this on here. We're gonna put a rationing pipe and a item filter in it. Actually, we're just gonna put the item filter. The rationing pipe will go here, and then like so. So, actually, you know what? We don't want to do this. We want to do this the other way around. We want not a... So that's going to give us extra stuff, which we don't want. So basically, if we do it that way, with a normal transfer node, what's going to happen is this is going to try to pull out items that this doesn't need. And since it doesn't need it, it's not going to be smart enough to not pull it out. So what we need to do instead is get a retrieval node. For the record, I didn't come up with this on my own. I went and looked at Hypnotized. He did a playthrough of Project Ozone 2 a good while ago, and this is what he did with the retrieval node and everything. So I should have known better, but I thought I could get away. I was confused why he used it to begin with. So retrieval node, we're going to need another transfer node. Transfer node, which we don't have, so we duplicate this one. And then we're going to need, what is it? 2 ender pearls and an emerald. Emerald. And ender pearl. Cool. So this will be pretty quick and easy. Something like this. And as soon as it realizes that it can do something, it does. Alright, so now we can head back to the last millennium, and if we want to make this look somewhat nice, we could put this underneath and just have a pipe going around And I think that's what we'll do. So let's break that. And we're going to put torches on either side because why not? And at some point we just need to put this guy, that, and I believe a rationing pipe will work with it. So if not, that's something we'll figure out. But this should be starting to pull. It immediately started to pull the rubies. Why? Oh, because that was... Alright, let's try putting the rationing pipe... Okay, why are you still... How are you... pulling items? Okay, so there's solarium. That's fine. Do retrieval nodes... They will... Okay, let's put a rationing pipe in. And a stack speed upgrade. So evidently it was already trying to pull stuff out. Let's put 2 more speed upgrades. And this is probably going to make a huge mess, but at the same time, it made a huge mess. Alright. Oh man, I thought that was going to work. Okay, so this does not work with the rationing pipe. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to do this that isn't awful. So yeah, I'm going to have to sort through this again, and we'll figure out something that works a little bit better. So that is a bummer. Hopefully this doesn't have... Oh, it does. So we're going to have to get, like, a lot of the stuff that is being made. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff to clean up. What we can do real quick is just turn this off, and hopefully it will not be too bad of a mess to clean up. Yeah, so I will clean this up, and we'll figure out another way. But in the meantime, let's take a look at some other stuff. So we'll come back to that in a moment. I need to figure out how to actually get to work, because unfortunately the rationing pipes just weren't working. And I'm not entirely sure like what's going to be the best way. What it could be is that the rationing pipe does work. Let's do some testing actually. So if we get a normal chest and we put in some items, retrieval node with a rationing pipe to another chest, and on this guy we're going to put the speed upgrades and stack upgrades just so it goes really, really fast. Let's grab some sand or something. You know what's something we have a ton of? We want number of items. Ender pearls. So if I put a bunch of ender pearls in here, they all go in there. That should not happen. If we put the rationing pipe in there and then connect them with a transfer pipe, they still all go in there. So the rationing pipe does nothing with retrieval nodes. Oh man, that's a bummer. So if we want to do anything with this stuff, we'd have to have a normal transfer pipe, because a normal transfer node. Let's set this back up. and transfer node. Of course, it's going to go that way now. We'll get a speed and a stack. If we put these in here, it'll only put one in here, which is what I want. That would be the ideal situation. And anything else, the problem is, can't get past this because it's going to try to put the speed upgrades first, or it's going to try to put the speed upgrades as well, and it's going to get backed up. So we could do something like that. So if I put, let's grab something else that has multiple stacks. Let's get like basic capacitors. So what you'll see is happening is, that is not working how I expected it. Let's get some aluminum ore as well. Okay, interesting. That might actually work. So with this loop, basically it knows that none of these items can be placed in there, but it will get rid of the one item if there's extra. That's kind of interesting. So if we take that out, it should... No. Okay, maybe not. I don't know. Man, this is weird. So we might have to use something else. I'm going to go watch the rest of that video of hypnotizes and see if maybe we can get that to work. But before we do, I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff except for the singularities. We'll keep those on us for now. I want to make sure we don't have any over here. Sing, not sig. Okay. So, other things we're going to need. Do we have the wireless chargers? Or wireless connectors? We do. Perfect. We can get those in here. So we're getting close to having everything we need for this. It's going to take some time with that processing and all that fun stuff. We're also going to need to get advanced PCBs. Now this is something we can kind of do automatically. So we can extract plastic automatically. If we click lock selection, it will only extract that. And so I could automatically have all the plastic come out, have a supply of it. It would require multiple plastic mixers, but that's something we could handle. And we could fill everything with coal for power and whatnot. And then the bigger thing is just insert the circuit boards and all kind of stuff, auto crafting and whatnot. I don't know if we can automate this guy with the translocation plate, but honestly, I think we're going to need a good number of these circuit boards. I think I might just do it manually, just because I think it'll be easier in the long run to do it manually than it will be to try to automatically do this. So like the empty PCBs are what? Green plastic and compressed iron. So compressed, let's get like 2 stacks. And do we have any plastic? We have a bunch of yellow because I made a bunch of yellow, but we don't have any green. So let's get a bunch of green. Hold on. Let's actually look at this. Let's be smart about this. So wireless charger, we don't need that anymore right now. PCB. So we need green for the unassembled, or rather the empty. So we need green. We will need, for the capacitors and transistors, we need cyan and gray. And then we'll need yellow. So there's only 4 types of plastic that we actually need. Let's see, plastic mixer. This is EMCable, so we could make a bunch of them. set them up and have them insert into different chests or drawers even. I mean, we could just get a drawer, one of these, and we can get, wow, if I can type plastic mixers, 1, 2, 3. So let's just double check this. Let's just look at all the plastic. Oh man. Okay, so black is used for some stuff, but none of the stuff that we need, because we can make steel casings otherwise. Red, also used for some stuff, but nothing we need. A lot of drone stuff. The plastics are used for a lot of drones. So we need green. And green just requires, well, green. That would be obvious. Brown, I don't think we need at all. It's for drones and elevators. Blue, don't need those. At least not now. Not in mass, at least. Don't need purples. We need cyan, so there's 2. Gray, we need those. Pink is used for drones. Lime is not used for anything that we need. And then yellow. So it looks like we can get by. We're going to need a lot of... Nope, we've already made that. Never mind. It looks like we can get by with just 4 plastic mixers. So... let's get some sort of automation for this. And what we can do is 1, 2, 3, 4. These guys only require plastic, so let's move this over. Make sure everything's still well lit. It's not. We can put ender fluid conduits like so. And this is going to be inserts only. And then we can just have something like this. We're going to want some other things. So let's actually get another drawer. It almost fell. That would have been bad. Let's get another drawer. Let's get our key, which I believe is in our bag. Oh, hey, I have a whole bunch of stuff in here. I forgot about that. I completely forgot about that. Our drawer key. We're going to put some stuff like this. And then this. And this guy we'll also need. And I think we can just bring this around like so. Alright, so this guy is going to be disabled. I don't know if these are sided or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 drawers. And we're going to lock both of them. The top one will be extract, always active. And the bottom one will be insert. And I don't think we need to differentiate between them. I think it'll be fine. So one of the big things we need to do is let's get one of each color that we need. So we're going to need gray, cyan, yellow, and what was the other one? I think it was for, oh, it's just green. Right? So green for the empty PCBs. Then to finish them, we need transistors, which is cyan and gray. And then those will need yellow. So that is the ones we're going to need. The bottom one is the insert. So we're going to put green, gray, cyan, yellow. Just like that. And then on the top, what we're going to have is we're going to have coal, which we will fill up. And then we're going to put coal in here and here. This might need filters, so we can get 2 filters. So this will be an insert. Oh, those are speed upgrades. Whoops. These are the filters. I was like, why isn't it working? Whitelist coal. And this has a security upgrade, so it will extract if it needs to. And this will be insert coal as well. So that will work just fine. And then the rest of the things will need the colors. So we need green, yellow, and no, it's green, blue, and red, right? RGB. Yes. So we just need to get a ton of this stuff, which again is not that hard. We can either EMC it or we can just use the other stuff. What am I trying to say? So green, the dye stuff. What is it called? The dye essence. There we go. I got there eventually. So do we not have any more lapis? Yeah, we have plenty of lapis. So let's get a bunch of lapis. And this is extracting. Can we put that on insert? Insert. So that is getting all of those. And we'll probably want some conduit speed upgrades for this guy. 15 would be enough to make sure everything got what it needed. Insert. So these guys should all have some dye. And then we'll just need to make sure that these are all full. And finally, we need the green. Let's go ahead and take the rest of this stuff as well. Okay, so a lot of work, but this should automate the plastic production, and then I can just manually do everything else. So we'll need more cactus green, but that is not too bad. And then we just need to set everything else up so that it will do what it needs to. And this will, once it gets to the red, it will not explode. The security upgrade will prevent that from happening. It will just stop. So that should be fine. And then we're going to need, so you are going to be lock selection green. And we'll also need you to be, let's put this to be insert on red. And these guys will need to be extract on red, always active. So you can hear the escaping gas. That basically means that everything's working well. We don't want explosions. So green, you will be cyan. You can be yellow. and you can be gray. So that should start filling up all these guys with plastic, and it will take some time. And this will eventually run out, which is unfortunate, but we can get more. So there's the plastic. I will tell you guys what, I'm going to get the turret base kind of completed. I'm going to work on getting all of these guys done, and I'm going to figure out how to get the auto crafting table automated. Now, one last thing before we go, before I go rather, I want to look at what all we're going to want to autocraft with the Dire Autocrafting Table. So the chaos ingots, and we're not going to make enough of these to really matter, so I'm not going to autocraft those. The chaos catalyst we're going to need, which means we're also going to want to get the cosmic meatballs, ultimate stew, eternal singularity, and the infinity catalyst automated. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to need 4 more. And nothing else here. So 4 more. We're going to want 4 Dire Autocrafting tables. So that is something we're going to start working on. And luckily, one of the things we need for those is the... I guess we just need the assembly stuff. So we are going to need some circuit boards for that. So it is kind of convenient. And then we'll have 3 of these guys just in case we want more stuff. But yeah, so we will just kind of progressively get more Dire Autocrafting tables. And that is going to be it. So we can always make more of these as well. They're not that difficult, other than the awakened cores are a pain to make. Oh hey, we're almost done with the diamonds. Cool, so we should be able to have the diamond chipsets. But I'm going to work on that, and hopefully next time I'll have a decent idea of how to get everything going in terms of getting the auto crafting tables working how I want them to, and we'll probably go ahead and set up the cosmic meatballs and the ultimate stew automation, which those are going to be pretty straightforward. And then we'll start working on the ultimate singularities as well. So, which I think the 2 singularities are going to probably be in the overworld. We'll figure things out. I will decide things as we go. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm also going to maybe work on that. Try to get the runes automated, because we're going to need those. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!